Hey, welcome to the How to Profit from St. Patrick's Day 2023 without paying for any ads. Welcome, everybody. First things first, can you hear me and see my screen? Just give me one in the chat box if you can, please. Let me know everything's okay on your end. Good, good, good. 111. Awesome. And second thing, let me know where you're located. Just type your location in the chat box where you are on the globe. I'm in London, Ontario, Canada, about 2 hours from Toronto, 2 hours from Detroit, Michigan. And we have North Carolina, right on. Brampton, cool. Toronto, nice, nice. Oh, there's Mexico. Hello, how are you? And we have, who's the furthest away? Oh, UK. 3 from the UK. Manchester. Sorry. I don't know why I couldn't pronounce that. All right, I'm going to dive right in. I don't want to waste your time today, and I got a lot of ground to cover, so I'm going to get through this with you. By the end, you're going to have a very good idea of what to do and how to do it with St. Patrick's Day 2023. And also, I've got something special for you. So, again, thanks for coming on. I do have a lot of stuff to show you. If you do have any questions throughout, feel free to type them in the chat box, and I'll cover them as at the end. I've got some time reserved for some questions. Okay, so what are we going to cover? Basically 3 things. That is what to sell. There's 3 main types of products that we're going to do, and each one serves a different purpose for us. Okay, so it's a little bit different than what we usually do in that usually we focus on one. This time we're going with 3 different types, and they all do a different thing on our store, basically. Second thing is how to sell them without paying for any ads. And the third is how to speed things up. You can do it alone if you wanted to, but so who's this for? Basically the following people. It's for people who want something different, people who just want to profit from St. Patrick's Day. Maybe you missed it. A lot of people that I've trained over the years, we actually skipped this holiday quite a bit because we were so focused on jewelry that we missed it. So you know how I'm in a university town and there's a lot of university students, and St. Patrick's Day is huge here. They go out and they get all dressed up in their St. Patrick's Day t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies. They carry their St. Patrick's Day tumblers and they drink their green beer. And in years past, I've missed this quite a bit because I was so focused with almost blinders on to one specific product type that I couldn't participate in it. Because really, you think, who's going to buy a necklace for St. Patrick's Day? Not very many people, but who's going to buy a t-shirt? Who's going to buy a sweatshirt? Who's going to buy a hoodie? Who's going to buy a tumbler? Well, everybody. And that's where the money is. And that's where I've missed over the years, and I'm not missing it anymore. So this year, I'm diving in head first right into St. Patrick's Day. So if you just want to profit from that too, you're in the right place. Who this is not for, basically negative people, those finger pointers, those quitters, bad attitudes, all around unpleasant people. You are here, so I am sure this is for you. And if you stay until the end, I do have something for you. But before we begin, I usually like to introduce myself. This went out to basically my email list, so I think you all know me a little bit. This time I'm not going to. So if you want to know more about me, Google my name, Will Hamerl, or PPC Coach. Now, you're going to be finding a lot more results in Google too, because I am heavily invested into free traffic in 2023. That includes blog posts for not only my business, but for my e-commerce stores as well. So I've got a lot of cool stuff coming, a lot of stuff that I'm working with, and a lot of that stuff involves artificial intelligence too. So it is just going to be a wild year. All right, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a father of 5 daughters, husband, and I've been working full time online for myself since 2007. I know we say 2023, but 2007. But you know what? Enough about me. Most of you know me by now. Instead, let's talk about you. So, is this you? And I know a lot of you are. You're the raring to go entrepreneur. You buy a course or a group coaching or a program or a boot camp or some program to help you, and you're pumped. You're thinking this is it. You devour the trainings for the first 2 or 3 days. Sidebar: I've got $1 trial on my group coaching program, and I can't tell you how many people come in, and then they'll be like, "Yeah, this sounds like a lot of work. I'm just going to cancel." I'm like, "You didn't even do anything. Your first contact with me was asking me how to cancel the membership." Anyway, then it gets to the taking action part, and that's when people really they start losing interest, and you're thinking like maybe binge watching Breaking Bad again is looking pretty good, but you're committed, right? So you make one attempt at selling something, it flops, and you don't log into the course or the group coaching or boot camp again. And I've seen this time and time again. Now, especially on Etsy, I'll tell you, the key to Etsy is time. It takes a lot of time, and it's through no fault of your own. It's just the way their systems are designed in that they're not really going to give you many sales up front. They want you to prove to them that you're in it for the long term before they're going to give you access to those precious 93 million buyers that they have on their site. So the big stores that are doing well, have a history, have sales, they get the traffic. You don't. So you have to get to that point, and that's where you got to give it a little bit of time. But there are some tips and tricks we can do to speed that up. So does that hit close to home? It's okay if it does. Maybe you're an action taker who gives everything the good old college try. You've seen others succeed. You know it's possible, but it just doesn't seem to click for you. So now what do? Well, you start seeking out free training. And there's a ton out there right now. And some companies are even offering their own free training. And you got to wonder what their motivation is. If they're offering you free training, it's basically because they make money no matter what it costs for you to get the sale. So you start seeking out paid training, and most are from my former students. So you continue to struggle and continue not making any money online, or you end up in a vicious cycle, constantly buying, constantly failing, thinking of giving up, but you don't. The point is, you're not going to give up on your dream, and your dream is your goal, and your goal is what keeps you going. And goals are good, and we all have them. So what's yours? Type your goal in the chat box now. I want to see them. How much money per month? I know what the number is on average, but I want to see what you guys think. Anybody in there? What's your goal? What's your revenue goal for the month? Profit, or it doesn't matter, profit or income. So we got 1,000 would be good. 5,000 would be awesome. 10,000, I can quit my job. Okay. 1,500. I just want one sale. Nice. 3,000. Okay. 100,000. Nice. We got a big one in there. That's awesome. All right. Everybody's got different goals, and that's cool. Here's mine. You guys may have seen this before. I need 3 million in cash invested at 5% in a corporate bond lender. It pays me 150,000 a year, 12,500 per month for the rest of my life without lifting a finger, so I can focus on my kids and wife every day. That's my goal. Now, I'm not there yet, but I'm working on it. I get closer every time I do one of these webinars. The point is, without that goal, I would struggle to keep going some days. Some days just plain old stink. So a campaign flops for no reason. Customer can't log in. Customer has a complaint. I have to deal with software issues. I have competitors copying me left, right, and center. And then on top of that, Facebook goes, hey, we're going to ban you. And that is one of the most frustrating things of all time that can happen to you as a print on demand marketer. So for me, December 29th, 2021 was a funeral of my Facebook ad account. That's when they restricted me. And they told me, it's not a ban. It's just your advertising, your advertising account is restricted from advertising, but it's not a ban. I was like, what the heck does that mean? Like, can you translate that to English? And then I went to appeal, and apparently my appeal got lost in Cyberland. And so I've been using like black hat ad accounts now in friends and relatives, and it's just not the same. I want that old one back. I still haven't given up hope, but you never know. Anyway, I keep going because I have a goal. So why did I tell you all this? Because you need something to keep you going too. Times are going to get tough. Times are tough. It's never the perfect time to do anything. The perfect time to start something new is right now. That's my thing. So if you want to lose weight, start right now. If you want to work out, start right now. Like there's no time where it's like, well, I got to wait for this, and this to settle. And then once this gets in line, then I can do this. Nah, start it right now. You need something to get you going. Bad days are going to happen. Goals give you something to focus on and get through them. So you can feel sorry for yourself and you can wallow in self-pity, or you can change anything you want in your life. Literally anything. If you don't like where you're going, change it. If you don't change it, then it's your fault. That's it. Plain and simple. So that's why you're here. Maybe you've tried and failed. And that's why I put together the St. Patrick's Day 2023 boot camp. More on that later. Let's get into the training now. So we're going to cover 3 things that are going to help you. Let's dive in. I can't wait. So number 1 is what to sell. Now there's more than just jewelry out there. I think I mentioned this earlier, but when we focus on jewelry, we can't really participate in St. Patrick's Day because people aren't buying jewelry for it. So I'm not saying don't sell message cards or necklaces or any other bracelets or anything like that. They do work. And I've sold a lot of them, like over 7 figures of them, but not for St. Patrick's Day. So I am saying you need to diversify what you sell. Not only what you sell, but who your suppliers are, because you have to be vigilant in picking suppliers because you never know when a CEO is going to leave a company. You never know when a company is going to start using some internal data to compete with you, like Amazon does all the freaking time. You know, on Amazon, when you have a good product, what do? They copy it, they make their own, and they undercut you, and they cut you out of the market. I can see that happening in the print on demand world quite a bit, and I don't like where it's heading. There's too many companies out there that are doing too many things that I'm like, that's not good. That's why me personally, I'm diversifying big time. So I'm using different suppliers, I'm using different companies to make sure that if I ever need to completely remove myself from one company, I have like 4 replacements already up and running. So you want to do that. Make sure you don't put all your eggs in one basket. It's a really, really, really bad idea. So what type of product should you be selling, right? There's 3 types, and this is basically focused on Etsy, but let me explain. So type 1 is to get them as a customer. This is a low cost product. It's like a no-brainer purchase. It's something that has instant delivery. This is going to build up your business. This is going to build up your customer base, and these are vital. So for example, when you go into Costco, like they're going to offer you a free sample. And why is that? Because they want you to try that new chip, or they want you to try that new bagel bite, or they want you to try that new cheese, so that you go and you buy the block. So they're losing money there on the front end with that free sample. I'm not saying do free samples. I'm saying do a variation of this. We need some low cost products that are going to get people into our store where they see it and it's an impulse buy and they're like, yeah, I'm going to buy that. That's like $3. That's like $5. I can do that. I can buy that no problem. Whereas if it's a piece of jewelry and it's at like $60 and then they're shipping and then they got to wait for it, well, now there's some more decisions that that customer is making in their brain, and that's going to slow your store down. I'm not saying don't do those products. I'm saying add in type 1 products, which gets them in the door, gets them as your customer, gets them on your email list, allows you to message them, allows you to ask for reviews. More importantly, it builds up your store sale count. And that store sale count, I think, is one of the most important things aside from time on Etsy. If you have a high sales count on your store, you are going to get more and more and more traffic from Etsy because they see you producing for them. So think of it like the mafia. Etsy is the mafia boss. You are currently not even a capo. You're like below a capo. You're like applying to be in the mafia. So the big boss will ignore you. They won't even look at you until you start producing income in the mafia and kicking money up to your captain and then kicking money up to the mafia boss. They don't care about you at all. But once you start producing and once you get to like $1,000 a month, 5,000, 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, all of a sudden they start noticing you. And they go, holy cow, this guy's a good producer. This girl's a good producer. I'm gonna pay a little bit more attention. I'm gonna give them a little bit more help. I'm gonna send them a little bit more things their way to get them going, get them making me even more money. So that's the way you got to look at Etsy, and not enough people do. But it really is like a mafia family, and they're the boss. They're the head honcho. You're not even a soldier yet, so you're not even on under a capo. So get there, and to get there, you got to start producing, and that's what Type 1 products do. Type 2 products are viral products. These sell like crazy. These get attention like crazy. Think of this: TikTok. The attention span is under 5 seconds. Something crazy is shown. People love it. People want it. You sell it. This brings in more customers to your shop. This can be something like what I'm thinking: t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies. Put something crazy on that, and then I don't want to give it all away, but we want that to go viral. What about tumblers? You know, all these college kids, that's what they drink out of when they're wearing that t-shirt, when they're wearing that sweatshirt, when they're wearing that hoodie, when they're wearing those funky sunglasses, when they're wearing those big leprechaun hats. That's what they're doing. If we put something like that out in front of them, especially on a place where they all hang out, it's gonna draw attention. It's gonna get shared. People are gonna comment. People are gonna like it. People are gonna share it. People are gonna want to know, where the heck can I buy that? That's awesome. I never thought of that. That's so cool. Oh man, when I wear that to the party, people are gonna love me. That's what you got to think. So you can make these products go viral, and there is a way to do it on TikTok, and it doesn't involve paying for ads. I mean, you could if you wanted, but you don't need to. I don't know if any of you have done this, but if you just post a video on TikTok right now, you're instantly going to get about 100 to 200 views. And it's not bots. They're desperate. Well, TikTok isn't, but they love these videos and they love to put out new ones to their user base, which is huge. So if you have something that has a tie to a holiday like St. Patrick's Day, which is coming up, and it goes on there and it goes viral, man, you're laughing. That product type alone, viral products, that's going to kick butt for you. And then we get into type 3 products, which is this. Big profit products. These have bigger profit margins. These are not impulse buys. These are not necessarily viral products. You sell these to your existing customers. So maybe they bought a low cost product. Maybe they bought a viral product. They can and will buy these high profit products as well. These really put the money into your pocket. So you're thinking like type 1, you mentioned the low cost. Okay, fine. Not really making much on that. Type 2, you'll make a little bit more when they go viral. They pay out a little bit more, but type 3, this is where you're talking about things like your jewelry and your message cards and those kind of things, and even other products that have a higher profit margin that you're going to make more money when you sell it. So once you have a mix of all these, your store is going to kick butt. The problem I've seen on Etsy is people focus on one product type. And a lot of people that come into my programs are like, I've been doing coffee mugs for years and I've got like 4,000 coffee mugs listed on my store now. And I'm like, what else you got? Well, nothing. I just do coffee mugs. Oh, okay. That's good. It's good that you put all that effort into it, but you're missing out. There are some other things that you have to add to that to get your store going. Because I follow up and I say, how many sales you got? Oh, not very many. Well, do you know why? Because you got like a boring old product that everybody else has, and it's a race to the bottom on pricing. You got to mix in a whole bunch of other stuff in order to get your store going. Because Etsy, the mafia boss, is ignoring you. They don't care about you. Until you start making the money, they do not care about you. So you got to start making the money. All right. The basic gist, you need a mix. You need all three types of products to succeed. And this is something that I finally I feel like I've cracked the code on this finally. Took me a little bit because I didn't really start out on Etsy, but I feel like the momentum is there and I can feel the shift and I can feel things working and I can see all the dots connecting. And once I do, it's fun. So the problem is most sellers have blinders on to one product type. Don't do that. That doesn't work. Instead, know that you can have multiple types of products with different goals for each. And think of like Costco or think of a grocery store. You know, they used to send out flyers, right? They put a flyer in the paper and you'd read it. And they would always have what's called like lost leaders in there, where they had like bananas on for a buck or um, I don't know, like meat or something on super cheap. And that was just designed to get you into the store because they know you would buy that product, but you'd also fill up your cart with all the other products that are at full price. So they could run a sale on one specific thing, and then you're going to fill your cart up with all the other stuff, right? And then you'll probably go back to that store and you start developing store loyalty to them. And it all happened because they kind of got you in there with the lost leader. Now, we don't really want to do lost leaders. We don't have to. We have things called digital products that are not a loss. They're more of a break even, slight profit. So works very well. Anyway, translation to all that, you end up with more sales overall. So are you pumped yet? Do you see what's possible? I love this stuff. Well, you guys know I do this all day. I love it. So let's move on to the second part now, and that is how to sell them. So the 93 million buyer marketplace, Etsy. The number one reason to use them, you don't need ads. It saves you money. The hard part, there's 4.5 million competitors. Actually, I read recently it's like 4.7 now. People are just flocking there. Because of the pandemic, everybody was bored. And when they're bored, what they did was they opened up Etsy shops and they started selling stuff. And because Etsy's not necessarily vintage or handmade anymore, people can sell anything. People like you and me can go in there and have just an image file and put it on a print on demand supplier and boom, we're done. Now we're getting more and more into the digital side too, which, my God, the digital side of Etsy is on fire right now. So don't limit yourself to product types on there. Make sure you feed that mafia boss. Get them to notice you. Get them to say, hey, damn, Will's making some sales here. I want to give him more traffic. So he makes more sales because when he makes sales, I make money. That's what the mafia boss does. And that's what Etsy is. Now that's a lot. That's a lot of competition, right? But it means something. Whenever there's competition, it always means something. And some people would always say like, well, I can't get into that market because it's too saturated and there's too much competition and I don't want to do that. I I don't think so at all. So there's a huge pie out there. and you can take your share and you can make a great living doing it. So if you change things up a bit and follow my guidance, and remember, I am like a mad scientist. I'm always experimenting. I'm always trying new things. And I'm only going to show you stuff that I know works. So use the 3 product types. Be different from your competitors. I just read a thing today on a Facebook group before this webinar, and they're saying, okay, so I don't know if you're even on this webinar, it might be. They said, I've got an Etsy shop and it's full of mugs or some print on demand product. But I want to do some digital download products. So should I start a new store? And I was like, no, don't do that. Why would you do that? You only need one store on Etsy. You make that store a brand name. You make that store a name that you own all the social media accounts. You own the Google search results. And that's what you do. And then you list anything you want on that store. So the days of, I know when I first started on Etsy, I started a shop called Mugville. And I think it's still up there. But all I did was mugs. And I'm kicking myself because I got up to like 160 sales or something like that. And then something happened with the supplier. Shocker, right? And I got a couple of late shipments and it actually tanked the store. And Etsy is still very sensitive to that. So if you have too many late shipments, if you don't meet that processing time, they put you into that payment reserve and your store is basically throwaway at that point. It's not going to recover. I hate to tell you, but been through it too many times with that. And it was basically a supplier issue. They tanked my store. But the point is, I wish I could go back and rename that store to not like Mugville. And I wish I could go back and kick myself and say, don't just list one type of product. Just put whatever you want on there. Trust me, it works. So you want to be different. That is how you succeed on Etsy. That is how you take your piece of that Etsy pie, which is huge. 93 million buyers. What if you got a small, tiny fraction of them buying from you? That's awesome. But it's not easy to do. So Etsy success boils down to the following. You're going to want to research product type 1. You're going to want to list product type 1. You're going to want to repeat that. Okay. You're going to want to research product type 2, then list it, then repeat. Then you're going to research product type 3, list product type 3, and repeat. You're going to use social media to ignite sales on product type 2, and that's kind of the secret sauce right there. But there's a warning. It's going to take a lot of consistent effort to do that, and also time. But that's my system in a nutshell. Now, viral products don't really require time. They just kind of, they explode. They do awesome. Sound good so far? I think it is. So let's move on to the third thing, which is vital, and that is how to speed things up. So there's no need to do this no need to do this alone anymore. So are you getting excited? But I have a few questions on where to begin. Well, buckle up. It's about to get even better. So let's finish this off, and then I'll get to my offer to you, right? So reality check. It's not a simple thing that we're talking about. There's lots of moving parts. It can be complicated to figure out. You need a couple things before you even start. That is, you need product type 1 and a few of them. You need product type 2 and a few of those. You need product type 3 and a few of those. You need to be marketing on social media. But on top of that, I mean, that's just kind of the technical side. Then you need accountability, you need guidance, you need motivation, and you also need a group of like-minded people and a never give up attitude. So how do you do this? Well, you got your two options: success the easy way, success the hard way. This way sucks. The hard way, go for it on your own. The hard way to succeed. Go to YouTube right now. I've got a YouTube channel. You can follow me too. Search for how to profit from St. Patrick's Day 2023 without paying for ads. Now, hopefully, my video shows up there, but I doubt it. Then you're going to get the following: different opinions, different styles, outdated methods, shifty people, tons of ways. Then go try each one on your own. Now you've got something. It's not a solution, but it's something called information overload. So you have so many options that you do not know what to do or where to start, which typically leads to overthinking and overanalyzing. So you do nothing and you go back to square one. That route stinks, and I don't suggest it for anyone. Instead, take the easy route. Learn from someone who's an experienced expert. Let's go back to 2005 for a second and then show you what I did. I did it the easy way. I found a mentor and a coach. And what I did while working at TD Ameritrade on the night shift. I was playing around on the internet. I found a mentor. He taught me all about my first business, selling secured loan leads to banks in loan companies in the UK. And without him, I would still be at my 9 to 5 job. I'd probably still be there as a manager of some department, just wanting to like shoot myself because I'd be bored to death. That is the easy way though. So when you find somebody to help you, that's good. Whether it's me or somebody else, I prefer me, but if it's somebody else, at least you're taking the easy way. Now, here's another thing. You want to learn how to drive a jet ski? You got to find someone to teach you. I remember the first time I hopped on one, I kind of had an idea because I rode a snowmobile and a motorcycle and all that stuff, so I could figure it out. But I'll tell you, when my daughter got on it, I had to explain it all. I'm like, okay, so when you hit this is the throttle on your thumb, or sorry, no, jet ski. Throttle is your fingers, and the other side, your left hand, is your brake. And yes, jet skis have brakes. So when you hit that, you're going to go into reverse. Okay, so be ready because it literally puts a little cover over the exhaust, the jet on the back, and it throws the water forward. So you do actually stop, and you can go in reverse on these things. It's awesome. I love doing reverse donuts. Anyway, I realized when I was teaching her that she'd never ridden one, and she could really hurt herself if I don't explain this properly. And then I said, no, make sure you have your safety, the kill switch cord. Make sure that's attached to your life jacket right here, and you have to have that on at all times because if you get out there and fall off, and the jet ski takes off across like Lake Erie to Cleveland, you're going to be out a mile out having to swim back. And what if you're 2 miles out? What if you fall and hit your head before you go in? Like there's all these things, right? You want to have the jet ski right beside you. So I had to explain that. And then I explained like the speed of this thing and the power of this thing. And if you pin this throttle right now, you are going to knock yourself head over tea kettle off the back because I've never experienced a thing that has more acceleration than a jet ski. But I had to explain that to her. And now I took that lesson to heart because I'm like, okay, so anybody who gets on here, I got to explain that to them. And I feel like it's the same with my coaching business now. I got to explain all this stuff. Okay. If you want to learn how to drive a snowmobile, okay, cool. So I remember the first time I showed the wife how to drive it. She's like, that looks like fun. I want to try. So I was like, okay. So I said, here's the throttle. And on a snowmobile, it's your right thumb, and your brake is on the left hand brake. And you have like warmers and thumb warmers and everything else. And it's pretty straightforward. But I didn't tell her about leaning into a turn. And I didn't tell her about driving kind of on the side of a little hill, and she almost hit a tree. And then I was like, what are you doing? She goes, I don't know. I turned it and it kind of like leaned over. And I'm like, well, okay. So yes, when you turn, it's going to turn, and you turned into the tree. And she's like, but it just like, I was trying to go up further on the hill and it wouldn't let me. And I'm like, you have to give it gas and momentum to go up. She's like, oh, well, you didn't tell me that. I'm like, ugh, that almost cost me my snowmobile. She almost wrapped it around a tree. So I learned from that one too. If you want to learn to make money online, man, you got to find someone to teach you how. There's so many ways out there. There's so many different people. There's so many different motives from people and companies. You got to find someone. So that's no different. Find someone to teach you how, and a group of people who are going through it all with you too. Which brings me to my offer to you. So at the beginning, I mentioned my St. Patrick's Day 2023 boot camp, and I'll tell you, I've never run a St. Patrick's Day boot camp ever. So I am pumped for this. This is all new territory for me. I can't wait to enter this market and just destroy it with you. So that's what my offer is. It's a way to skip all the roadblocks and to get profitable. But first, let me ask you a question. Are you enjoying it so far? I hope you're nodding your head yes. New stuff in an old business is fun. St. Patrick's Day is a new holiday that I've never taught before, and I can't friggin' wait. So do you think this might be the missing piece you've been looking for? Maybe you've ignored this completely for years, and now it's time to go, man, there's money being made. I want a piece of that pie. So what we've covered so far is what to sell, and how to speed things up. So my question is, you want to do it with me? Introducing the St. Patrick's Day 2023 Bootcamp. So the info and all the methods I've shown today only scratch the surface, not even a dent. So the St. Patrick's 2023 Bootcamp is all about teaching you how to find 3 product types, teaching you how to create the 3 product types, teaching you how to list the 3 product types, teaching you how to get them viral, and getting you to cash in on St. Patrick's Day 2023 which, as I said, is a holiday that I've never done before and I cannot wait. So what is it though? It's full training support with some sweet bonuses all packaged up for you to get there quick. So it sounds pretty sweet. I think it is. So what you get in this boot camp is 3 live training sessions. You get over the shoulder, you learn, then you do. It's a group coaching format. A lot of you are very familiar with it. Value of that is about $1,997. It's full training, step by step in detail. And that's just the training side. I got a couple bonuses for you too. So bonus number 1 is that ongoing support, which means you don't have to go at this alone. No need to fly solo anymore. If you ever tried talking to someone about online stuff, they're like, haha, wait, what? I literally had this discussion with my buddy. We carpooled to volleyball on Sunday night, and he's like, so how's your business going? And I started talking about it, and I could see him tuning out. And it's funny because he's actually a professor at the university here in town. Smartest guy I ever, like book smartest guy I've ever met in my life. Like the guy's a genius. He was working on like HIV stuff, and he was working on COVID stuff. Like, man, just brilliant guy. And he started telling me about his lab and what they're doing, and I was like, yeah, I did that to him. I did that. That's wait, what? I have no idea what you just said. Anyway, that's what my wife does too. Every time I start talking about my business. So what's the solution? It's a group of people who speak your language. That's what bonus number 1 is. It's the dedicated members only group for support and coaching along the way. So you get that dedicated private Facebook group, members only, right on Facebook, available 24/7. So you can get support. You can network with others. People are in your shoes, people who will help you out, led by me. So it is as valuable as the training itself. So you get training and support. Now, does that sound pretty good? I think so. So there you go. Total value $3,994, but that's not all. I feel like an infomercial guy when I say that. I've got more bonuses for you. So bonus number 2 is templates. So these are 100 of them to use right away. I'm also going to do some training on how to create templates. I think I'm going to use Canva for this so that you can create your own and you don't have to rely on outside templates at all. Well, they're always nice to have, but sometimes it is hard to come up with ideas for these for designs. So it's easiest to edit existing designs, and these basically go for 20 bucks each. They're made by pros, expert designers, not me. You can edit them to suit your needs, and there is 100 of them. So at 20 bucks a piece, that's $2,000. So now we're up to about 5,994 in value. So if you want more, cool. So I ran a custom name necklace bootcamp just before Christmas, and I'll give you access to that immediately too, just to help you speed things up. So this is a cool one for that product type number 3. Like I said, product type 3, tons of training, tons of value, gets you going fast. Caitlin Minimalist is a custom name necklace store on Etsy. We are taking that to the next level by offering a message card and a gift box on top of the custom name necklace. So, and I think they just announced too that they have a gold version, which is amazing, perfect timing. So here's what we're up to now, $6,991. So what about email marketing? Yep, you're gonna have to learn this, and I'm kind of glad I did this because I ran a boot camp dedicated to that, and it's yours. And that is the email marketing bootcamp, because on Etsy, if you're not using email, you're leaving money on the table. So email is king. Email marketing is vital. I've got some very cool methods to teach, and this brings in repeat customers. I used to try and do this in the boot camp in each one, and then I figured, I'm going to separate that because it literally was 4 hours of training. So it doesn't matter which platform you're on, you're going to get instant access to that. So now we're up to $7,988. Sorry. And then what about Google Ads? Well, there's, if you really want to, you can. There's display, there's YouTube, there's search, there's Gmail, there's everything. Those work. And oh yeah, I've got a boot camp on that too. You can have that as another bonus. And that boot camp, I believe, is 4 sessions, an hour each. And we cover, I believe there's YouTube in there too. I don't know why I didn't put that in there. Gmail. So those show in the inbox in Gmail, which is crazy that you can actually advertise in there. Display ads show all over the internet, and then search ads showing right on google.com, and that's a $997 value. So now we're up to $8,985, and how's that sound? Right? Training, sport, templates, 3 existing boot camps. Man, this is quite the package. So you get it all. Ton of value. I should charge $8,895 for this, but not charging that much, not even close. So I had a choice to make again. First choice, sell the boot camp for cheap, get more people going. Second option, charge more, limit it to fewer people. I went with option 1. I want to help as many people as possible with this. So It's a good deal at $8,985. I priced it at $997. Okay, but hang on. So since you showed up here on the webinar, I'm offering it for 70% off. So $299.10. You can go there, ppc-coach.com/go. Do it all lowercase. Apparently, if you do uppercase on that, it goes to a different directory, which I didn't even know about web hosting. But anyway, $299.10 for all that. So it's 70% off. It's a limited time. It will be going back up and the doors are going to close. So the link is at the bottom right of the screen. You're getting everything. This is going to help you cash in big time on St. Patrick's Day 2023. So what's the guarantee? Simple. I 100% stand by this. If you do nothing, you'll get nothing. Nothing will change in your life. If your first question is, hey, what's the refund policy? Then don't bother. We're not a good fit. Your mindset's not right. If you take action, follow the boot camp, you're going to succeed. So what I'm saying is, if you want to speed up the learning curve, then do it. So if all it did was teach you how to cash in on St. Patrick's Day 2023, would that be worth it? And if all it did was give you support in the private Facebook group, would that be worth it? And if all it did was give you 100 templates to use immediately, would that be worth it? And if all it did was give you immediate access to 3 previous boot camps, would that be worth it? I certainly think so. So if you want to cash in, you got 2 basic options. Option 1, do it alone. Go to YouTube, search for that. How to cash in on St. Patrick's Day 2023. I hope I come up in that result, because then you're like, oh, Will said, and there it is. Now I can get it. So if you do that and it's not me, you're going to find tons of conflicting info. You're going to get confused. You're going to get overloaded. You're going to overthink it. You're going to second guess yourself. You're going to waste time. You're going to waste energy. You're going to struggle. Now, what I've noticed recently on YouTube too is there are a lot of YouTubers that are focused on Etsy, and there's a lot of them that did maybe just crack 6 figures in sales, and now they're trying to teach it. And I'm like, I think that's a little bit too early for them because they're not a 7-figure seller. So me personally, I want to go with a 7-figure seller to teach me, not a 6-figure seller. And there is a difference. And the difference is they haven't had a bad time yet. They haven't been through the crap yet and survived. So they're on the rise, but they haven't hit that drop. And when you hit the drop and live through it, that's when you know you've made it. And I've been through many, many, many drops in my long career online. Anyway, option 2 is get my help. Training, support, templates, 3 previous boot camps, instant access to the bottom 2, which is awesome. So which option do you prefer? It's a complete no-brainer. So is $299.10 a lot of money? No, it's a weird number, but that is 70% off. So not really for what you're getting. You're getting a ton. So what are you really buying? Well, you're buying the best chance for you to profit from St. Patrick's Day. So I've eliminated the roadblocks to get you making money faster than ever, giving you a ton of value to get you making money as fast as possible. You can do this alone. I did when I first started out. I did a lot of this alone, even after my secured loan business, because nobody was teaching it. So I wish someone could have showed me. So when you buy time and help, you get there faster. You also increase the odds of making it work for you. So who am I to teach you? Just an experienced expert with a lot of success so far. So if you have any questions, email me. What's the difference between now and later? Well, now you might be struggling, later you won't be anymore. This is a limited time offer. It won't be available forever, so don't wait on this. You might miss the bus. Now some common questions that I get all the time, and then I'll take some if you have any in the chat too. So first is, how is this delivered? Well, the instructions will be in the Facebook group. Support is in the Facebook group, and the 3 live trainings are on GoToWebinar, which you'll be registered for automatically when you purchase. Replays are posted in the group. You can view those at any time, and support is available 24/7. Now I say that, but if it's like Friday night at 1 o'clock in the morning and you post something and I don't get back to you right away, like, I'll get back to you tomorrow or the next day. You can't expect me to be up that late at night. Anyway, when are the live sessions? 31st, 7th, and 14th at 11 a.m. Eastern. And that's just because I've got the house to myself. The kids are at school, the wife's at work, so I can do these in privacy and quiet, which is good, except for the dogs barking at the delivery guys. So what if I can't make a session? No problem. Replays will be posted. They're available to view. That should say, I got to fix that. See, I run spell check on these, and that should say view. It says via, and spell check doesn't catch it. I gotta make a note of that. When can I start? Right now. So you get instant access to the group. You get an email with all the links to everything in it. And the first live training is Tuesday, but all the bonuses are available immediately. So do I need a store? Yep. You'll be building an Etsy shop, or you can use one you've already got. If you don't have one, I'll show you how to build one. If you have one, use that one. There's no need to create a new one for this. Will you teach free traffic? Yeah, that's basically what it's about. I'll show you how to sell these without paying for ads. Hint, social media. So what if I have more questions? You can go there. Don't really use Skype. I don't turn it on. And then ppccoach.com/group. So did you join yet? Awesome. I'll see you in the group in a minute. If you're still on the fence, here's a couple testimonials for you. One from Mandy. I love these testimonials. I've known Will for a few years and I have a couple of his courses. You always learn something from him, whether you're starting at the beginning, intermediate, or advanced stage of your business. He teaches what is working for him now, and he teaches in a simple and easy to understand way. I was able to implement one of his courses when the first lesson made my investment back. I love that one. Oliver, I don't usually make public posts on Facebook, but I feel I need to tonight. Will, you could be spending your time making money for yourself instead of creating such a great and insightful content. I truly believe you genuinely care and want to help people. You got me started with print on demand back in February, and I'm already seeing great success. I've hit several bumps along the way, but just believe in yourself that you can do this and you will. Take care. And then from Chris, I've been following Will for nearly 3 years now, and to this day, I think he's one of the best in the business when it comes to coaching print on demand and Facebook ads. Purchased a couple of his courses in the past, and they've been great. Everything he teaches has been battle tested and proven, so you can trust his strategies that he shares. Definitely follow this guy. You won't regret it. If you want more, I got a big page. Actually, I'm redoing that page because I got even more. There's about 200 testimonials on there. So what happens after you order? Well, you get immediate access to the group and the bonuses. You get an email from me. The first live training is Tuesday, coming up quick at 11 a.m. Thank you for watching. I can't wait to help you succeed. So you're buying something unique. You're getting training, support, template, and existing boot camps. So if you skip this, I'll call you crazy, but we can part as friends because I'm a little bit crazy too. So do not wait on this. This is what you've been searching for. Let's get you profitable and cashing in on St. Patrick's Day 2023, which, like I said, this is a holiday I've never done before, and I cannot freaking wait. So let's sell 3 product types instead of just one. Let's do something different. So different format, different style, different holiday. Everything's different, but it's all going to work. So thanks for coming on. I appreciate your time. Go join now if you haven't already. And then I'm going to take some questions over here and I'm going to leave that up. So yeah, it's ppc-coach.com/go if you're interested. And so I got a question here. I joined one 6 months ago and I never got the emails for the webinars. So the webinar emails come out right from GoToWebinar directly to you. So if you're not getting those, I think you got to whitelist my email address in your inbox in order to do it. Another question, can you show us some products that will work? Oh, I knew I was going to get this. Okay, fine. Here, as prepared. So somebody's asking, show us some examples. Okay, let's do that. Why not? So this is my product analytics. I want to show you an example here. So I already did this. I went to Etsy and I typed in St. Patrick's Day tea. I got a bunch of stuff here. So I'm going to show you an example of product type 1. What's this thing? St. Patrick's Day heart, instant digital download, SVG, PNG, DXF, EPS files included, Shamrock. So this is your product type 1. That has 126 reviews. If I go here, they're saying it's got about 1,989 sales, which is cool. Now, one new thing, if you notice on the screen, I use Everbee, right? It's really good for spying on stuff. But they put this here, calculate profit. That's kind of neat because you can see the sales, the discount, shipping price, total revenue, costs, Etsy listing fee, transaction fee, payment processing fee, total fees, cost of goods sold, shipping costs, total cost of goods sold and shipping, total revenue, total cost, net profit, 54.4%. But you're like, man, they are not making much on that. 68 cents? That's not even worth my time. But if you look at 68 cents times 1,900 and some sales, you're over $1,000. just over, I believe. So this listing is not designed to bring them, retirement money. The listing is designed as a type 1 product to get them to the point where, move that down, they're actually getting a lot of customers. And if we look at the store, the sales on the store, 220,000. So if that is their, well, let's go back here. If we take 0.68 divided by 1.25, what do we get? Pull out our calculator, figure out their margin. Oh, it's right there, 54%. So if we figure 54% of this, so 220, I'm trying to do some math here. 220,492. Let's say everything is at 54% and everything is whatever that was, 68 cents profit. So that store did like almost 150,000 profit. Let's go to the store. They got everything. 2,135 listings, whole bunch of them. Crazy. So there's product type 1 anyway, and it does work. And the point is not to put like a whole bunch of money in your pocket. The point is to bring in those customers, and then it's a volume game. And then what I would have liked to have seen on this store, if they took it to the next level, they would add some print on demand products and some other stuff, but it looks like they're only selling type 1 products. Let's go randomly to page 8. Yeah, they're only selling type 1. So that's a way. It's not the way I would do it though. So good example of a product type, but not the way I would do it. So let's go up to another one. There's this one. This is like a more of a type 2 shirt, type 2 product. I'm going to give you a little tip here too. See this? You're like, they can't make any money on that. That's ridiculous. You know what they did? And this is a trick that all these Etsy sellers are doing lately. So down here in your sizes, if you see, every size basically has a different price. So if I want to buy a unisex large, all of a sudden it's $15.74. But on here it's showing as $10.14. So what the heck's going on? Well, what they did, is they took their lowest one, which is a baby suit newborn, for $10.14. They have to call it a baby suit because you can't use onesie on Etsy because somebody owns a trademark to that, and they'll have you take down a listing if you do. So this is actually false advertising, and this is something that it's not false, but it is false because that is for the newborn onesie price, and this is what all these guys are doing. So there's a little hack for you too that I just gave away. You could do that too. It's legal on Etsy, even though people come here and then they're like, okay, well, shirt size. Well, geez, I need a 4XL, so now I'm going to pay $19.95. Or unisex V-neck, $18.54. So all of a sudden the prices go way up. The second part they usually tuck it in is on the shipping here. If I can find that. Yeah. So not only do they kind of give you a little bait and switch on the pricing because they're showing you the price for a newborn onesie, but they're tacking on like $15 in shipping. So Etsy hasn't really cracked down on this yet, and which I don't know why, but none of these mock-ups are for the onesie. So to me, that's like if I'm advertising a message card and I put pick your type, and the type 1 is a toothpick, and I sell the toothpick for $10, and that's the listing price here. But then when they select the actual one with the gift box, it's like $60. But I got a toothpick advertised price for my necklace thing. Anyway, just something you can be aware of. And then there's all this stuff. So then there's the high price stuff. Product type 3, all these babies. And you can see this one says popular now, so let's check that out. $50. Let's see how accurate they are on this. So this does have sales too. So they're saying $50, discount 0, listing fee, transaction fee Total fees $5.29. Damn, cost of goods sold. They're actually pretty accurate. Wow. Man, they're really pulling some good data here. They did their research. They even got the shipping right. So the total profit on that is like $20. 20.79. I love this. By the way, if you want to get this, go to ppc-coach.com/Everbee. It's my affiliate link, but go there. This is the program. A lot of you already have it, but yeah, look at that. So $40 net profit mark, 40%, $20.79. That one has 87 reviews, so let's assume 15% left. 1 times 1.5 times 20.79. Oops, didn't do that right. What was I doing? Oh, 87 divided by 0.15. 580 sales times 20.79. Wow, so you're looking at profit-wise about $12,000 on this one. So somebody took the time to list that, and they made about over 10 grand on that alone. So yeah, there's a lot of money to be made. But anyway, I'm going to close off with that. If you haven't joined, please, let's do this. This is going to be new. This is going to be different. This is going to be awesome. I can't wait. I know on St. Patrick's Day, living in a university town, when I drive down the main drag right in front of the university, I see basically like 100,000 kids, and they're all wearing their t-shirts. They're all drinking out of their tumblers, and they're all having a good old time. And you know what? They go to Amazon to buy those shirts. They go to Etsy to buy those shirts. They go to Walmart to buy those shirts. All you have to do is put an offer in front of them to make money on it. So there's really no reason why you can't profit from this unless you don't join. That's the only way you're not going to make it work, is if you don't join and, you know, step up to bat. And you don't have to hit a home run, hit a bunch of singles, and you'll still do really, really well. All right, I'm going to close with that. Thank you, everybody, for coming on. I really appreciate it. I hope to see you inside the boot camp. If not, no worries. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.